So, welcome back to chapter 9, people. So, like I told in previous chapter, we'll be doing this oil dripping effect. And one more thing we forgot to do in the previous chapter was this how to create. I did not show you how to create this effect. So, let's start with how we are going to create this effect, the logo tearing off. Okay. So, if you see here, logo looks pretty clean. So if the barrel has been damaged so much, the logo shouldn't be such a pristine condition. So let me check. Yeah. So let's see how we can create this uh, logo tearing off effect. So before we do that, we have to, like I told you, the layers here work in the ascending order. So we have to bring this logo layer. We have to bring this logo layer uh, below the here roughness breakup. Okay, so let's bring this on the roughness breakup, and now you see all the scratches appear upon the logo. Okay, so let's put this in a group over here. To put it in a group, you press Ctrl G, and let's rename this as logo folder. Now we have to give this effect, right? So what we are going to do is create a black mask upon the folder and add a fill layer. Okay, now here you can almost use any of the grunge map you want. Okay, so almost any map will give you this kind of effect. You just have to fiddle with the settings a little bit. So let's see which I'll see this grunge marble shapes. Let's see what kind of effect it will give. Okay, so you just have to increase the contrast here. See, it is, if you increase the contrast and play with the balance, and play with the brush pattern, let's increase the balance. Yeah, now you see it's giving out pretty neat effect here. So here it is gone entirely. So let's try out some other kind of texture. Let's see how will this texture work out for us. Before that, let's set this back, increase the contrast, and increase the scale. This is looking neat, right? So let's see back side also. It is pretty neat. So okay, let's move on to the paint dripping effect, and please make sure you are saving your work. Keep pressing Ctrl S. Okay, to make sure you are saving the work you are working on. So far I think I'm assuming your model also will be looking good enough. Okay, you don't have to exactly follow the colors and all. You can go with any kind of colors you want. You can go whatever the logo you want. It's just that I want you to get this kind of results. Okay, now we will create dripping on top, and we will create rusting below over here, because it stays on the ground and usually water eats away the metal. From it starts from the bottom, it goes up. So let's see how I created that dripping effect. So dripping effect will be on top. Okay, so let's enable only the color file over here, and select one good looking oil. Let's use this reddish color, and let's make it a little dark. Okay, brownish reddish color. And let's name this as oil drips. And let's add black mask. Masking is everything here. Once you understand the concept of masking, things will start getting easy for you. So I strongly suggest that you understand the concept of masking, what the black color does and what the white color does. To show you an example here, so like we created a mask here on this layer. So what basically masking means, let's enter the painting mode over here. So masking, black means, understand that black means if you paint black on anything, okay, if you paint black on anything, it is not going to show. So I'll show you here in mask, sorry, here in mask. So everything is black now. Okay, once I press X over here and start painting in white, so I have written this uh, S kind of a shape. I have written this. So now you see everything is black and only this shape is white. Now just to make you understand, now if I press M, see what is going to come. Okay, this color has appeared, right? So basically white, if you want to show anything, paint white. If you want to hide anything, paint black. Okay, black hides everything, white shows everything. So this layer is being hidden by this mask. Okay, so the mask is basically everything is white now. If I paint something in white, this layer is going to start showing through. Okay, so that is the magic basically in texturing. Okay, so let's start with texture painting the drips over here. So to paint the drips, there is one texture over here, oil drips, and you'll find it in the resource folder. Just drag it and drop it here. Okay, and this window has import resource window has appeared. All you have to do, you have to define what is the purpose of importing it. So it will assort it accordingly where to put and where not to. So here in undefined, just click on it and click on alpha, and once you import, it will start showing in the alpha section of this library. Okay, so we want it to be in this project only. Okay, and click on import. So now if you come under alphas, you will be able to find it. You just, if you are not able to find it, see whatever name it was given, oil drips. So just search for oil drips, and now you see here it is. Okay, so now we know that it is here. Let's go back to brush and select basic hard brush. Okay, basic hard brush, we are going to paint in the shape of that oil drips. Okay, so we are going to plug in that alpha here, uh, here in this alpha section over. Let's search for oil now, oil drips. Now you see, you have, all you have to do is drag it in the alpha, and now you see the alpha shape has come over here. So to make the painting easier, what we are going to do is paint on the 2D part of the, I mean 2D section. Okay, wherever we laid out the UVs, because here it is going to be hard. I'll show you. It's going to come like this. So we don't want that happening. Let's increase the brush size. So to make it easier, what we are going to do is we are going to enter orthographic mode. So there won't be any perspective in the image. Okay, so we can simply paint it. Let's decrease the size and let's start painting. Okay, it's as simple as that. Just do random stroke, just click on the mesh. It's done. That's all. It's as easy as that. Texturing is very easy. You just have to understand the concept of texturing. Okay, I did not make you go through the basics of texturing because I wanted to teach you in the process itself. Okay, if I am telling you this button does this, if I tell you this does this, this is what it does, this is what it is, you'll not be able to understand. So I'm showing it to you practically, what is happening, what's working where, so it will be easier. I'm showing you everything practically. I did not take the theoretical route because I wanted you to understand while I am teaching, while you are learning. Okay, so now that we have created the oil drips, just make sure you cover you cover everything. Now let's enter the perspective mode again and let's see how it's looking good. But over here oil is going to have some height information. Here it is looking very flat. To make it more realistic, what you have to do is just go to the layer and enable the height channel over here and give very slight height information. Now if you move the light, you can see it has a little bit of light information. 0.04, 0.05. Now I am going to duplicate this layer. Okay, I am going to duplicate this layer. Let's disable everything but height and let's add a filter over here. Let's add filter and we are going to blur a little bit. So what I want to do is to is to blur out the mask very little, not a lot, only this much, so we don't have very sharp information like this. Or else we can go here and disable the height channel and we now see, now it is giving very realistic look, right? So this is basically the approach. And let's put this in a group and let's name this as oil drips folder. Okay, and let's give this a mask. Let's give this white mask because I want everything to show. And we are going to polygon mode, and we are polygon mode over here. Press 4 and we are going to disable the cap here. Press X. Okay, so we want to remove the paint effect, what the oil dripping paint effect from here. So you just click on the UV chunk, select this and click here. The paint effect is gone. If you understand the concept of texture painting, then it is easy. Okay, so almost everything is done. Let's just take a look. Let's collab this 2D window, 3D only, and let's take a look what do we have to do. Now the only thing left is to create the rusting effect. So rusting effect also we can do procedurally or we can do manual hand painting. So let's collapse this oil drips folder and let's create one more layer and let's give this as rust. Okay, now if you have ever seen the oxidization of the metal, you know that it has zero reflection and it has orangish reddish color. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to enable the roughness channel and we are going to increase the roughness to its fullest, and we are going to enable color channel over here and we are going to select some kind of rusty color. Or rusty, this looks like perfect rust color. Okay, now we have to add black mask and we have to start painting on the bottom of the barrel. Okay, So there are two approaches we can take. Okay, one is what we can do is we can do the manual hand painting, and one is going the procedural route. Okay, so let's add a fill layer here and let's see if there is any viable texture we can create. So just search for rust. You'll be able to see uh, rust textures. Yeah, let's use this. Let's drag and drop it into the grayscale over here. Okay, and what we have to do is to in increase the contrast. And we want to limit the rusting only to the bottom part. Okay, okay, let's increase the contrast. Let's increase the contrast. Now it's looking good. So we have to give a little bit of negative height also. Let's give it, let's give this little bit of negative height information. So it looks like, to give an effect that it is eating into the metal. Okay, so upon this fill layer, what we are going to do is add one more paint layer, and we are going to do manual hand painting over here. So before that, we'll disable everything. We want to remove the effect from the top part of the barrel, so we are going to paint it out, select it out, and now let's go to brush. Let's select one, let's see what brush we can be, and dirt. Let's select this dirt brush, press 1. Okay, now let's simply just keep clicking on, let's paint it out here, and you can paint it out in the 2D view also here. Okay, let's paint it out here, and let's decrease the opacity. Let's stroke opacity, let's decrease it, and let's paint on the bottom part of the barrel, and let's increase the opacity again. Now it's looking good. Let's see if we can do any difference in the blending modes. Let's increase the brightness here. Hmm. So let's duplicate this layer again, and let's let's change the grunge over here. Let's increase the contrast. Let's see what's happening in the mask over here. I think we'll have to use different. I'm just trying to get a little stylized look. Yeah, I think this will give us good effect. Now let's see what's happening in the material mode. Let's increase the balance and contrast. Let's press M. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, so we don't want this rusting effect on the bottom part. So let's go into paint layer here and let's press 4 to enter polygon mode and let's paint it out. Let's do the same for this also. Let's select exclude from the mask, and now you see it's looking pretty realistic. It's ready to be used in a video game. So the texturing part of the barrel is done now, and we are in the next chapter we'll render it out, and I'll show you how to present it in a portfolio. There are many interesting ways many interesting ways how you can present it on a portfolio. So there are, out of so many ways, I'll try to show you one way. Okay, instead of showing the model rendered in one gray screen, I'll show you how to make it look interesting, and I'll show you how to show your skill in the rendering part also. Okay, let's end the chapter over here, and I think next chapter is going to be the last chapter of this module. After this module ends, I'll start something else which I have planned for you. I'm not going to disclose it yet. So let's end this chapter, and I'll see you in chapter 10.